Hey. Thank y'all for joining me to another one of my podcasts, Dear Future Husband. Dear Future Husband of Atlanta, to be exact. So today we are having the beautiful, the famous, gorgeous.
Oh my goodness, you laid on.
Fella, she's married. She's married, okay? Tiarra Monet.
Hey,
Tiarra,
gorgeous.
welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. This is amazing.
Oh my God, you are more beautiful in person than you are online, girl.
I don't think you're gonna see me blushing beyond the blush that I applied, but it's happening.
And can we tell everybody that this color was not planned? You just happened to fit well with the set.
It was
right?
not planned, but I was inspired to wear some color today.
Look at that. Well, you look absolutely gorgeous, and thank you. So
You look stunning too.
Thank you.
I mean, you always look stunning. Though.
Girl, I'm gonna keep you around. Great for my self-esteem, okay?
Period.
Well, girl, I want to go ahead and get started because I have a ton of questions and I want to try my best to get through most of them. Because not just me, but the audience, like, we want to know about your love life. I don't know if you've ever really talked about it publicly.
Little like bits and pieces, but I'm
Right.
very protective, and I'm trying to protect this relationship.
Yeah.
I had a very public relationship prior to this one,
Yeah.
so just trying to navigate in these internet streets and just protect my peace at the same time.
Right.
So yes, this will be a spill the tea episode for
Okay,
sure.
I love
exclusive.
it. Well, cheers to that. Let's
Cheers.
spill the
What are we
tea.
cheersing?
We're cheersing to you spilling the tea with our sponsor, Bel Air. So, cheers to Bel Air, and thank you so much for your sponsorship.
Yes.
All right.
Cheers, darling.
So, the first thing I want to know is, how long have you been married?
All right, so we are approaching year 3 in February. We got married at the height of the pandemic. We were like the last wedding before they shut everything down. We are blessed that no one was sick at our wedding. But yeah, right before lockdown, maybe like 2.5 weeks, we got married.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
it was a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, approaching year 3 in February.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations on that.
you,
You guys are still in the honeymoon phase, I'm assuming.
I wouldn't say we in a honeymoon phase.
Okay.
I think we are in probably our first real year of marriage.
Okay.
But I think we had a beautiful honeymoon phase, maybe because we were on lockdown. Like we were literally together for a year straight.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I think we had a dope first year. I think we've spent the most time together that year. And I was talking to another friend of mine, essentially saying that anybody that got married during COVID, like even though I'm on year 3, it feels like year 5.
Yep.
Because no one spends every waking day fresh out of marriage together.
Right.
Like you go to work, you come home, you see each other a few hours, the weekends, but like we were together every day.
Wow.
So our honeymoon phase was a phase.
Okay.
It was a real phase. It was a phase.
I get it. So I gotta ask you this question: how long did you guys date before you actually took the plunge?
Okay, so
Before the engagement, before the actual marriage.
So we got engaged, I think, year 4.
Wow.
Together.
Okay.
Yeah, we had taken like 2 breaks.
Okay.
The first break was him, Joe. The second break was me, but right after that break, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not playing with you. So you gonna come here and I'm gonna do what you asking me to do, So I want to say like year 4 is when he proposed to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, he proposed on his mama's birthday.
Really?
Random day, but yeah, we had met on Tinder. And we are an internet couple, girl. We met on Tinder, and it was just like a whirlwind romance.
Really?
Like I broke so many rules with him.
Wow.
Girl. But yeah, I never. Well, I think I'm jumping ahead. I'll let you.
This just flow.
No,
this is getting good.
I never aspired to be married. Like I never really believed in it.
Okay.
Partially because of like not seeing successful marriages, and also because I'm a textbook Sagittarian. I'm a free bird. I like to fly, and I would like for somebody I'm with to fly as well.
Right.
But I met him, and it just made sense. Like I think we both kind of like connected because we didn't believe in marriage, and then we got together, and it was like, wait, I could do it for you though.
Oh,
I could do it for you. So yeah, I was.
Was that because I think all of us,
Mhm.
we want that experience, you know, because sometimes we date. And because we're compatible with someone, we try to force that issue. But for for marriage not to be a primary goal for you and for you to end up there anyway, like what was that whirlwind love experience like? Like what inspired you guys to take it to the next level? I guess the okay, to answer this simply,
Mhm.
what was different about him?
What was different about him? I think when we met, there was like this instant, like, I know him, and obviously he is not a black man.
Right.
We don't come from the same background, upbringing, so it was odd that I felt so connected to somebody that is like the polar opposite of me. And he felt like a kindred spirit. That was the first thing. And the first night that we met, I told you I broke some rules, Dre. Never had a one night stand. You know, he was just, I was just dating. Like, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this time to date. I was like, so heavily invested in my career at the time. All I was doing was working.
Yeah.
I had a salon at the time. I was a hairstylist and influencer. But anyway, I was like, you know what? All you do is sit here and talk to girls. You need to go on a date. So I was dating like 5 nights a week. Like, I was literally going to work and dating. And I don't know why I was doing this, but I just felt like my 20s were slipping away from me.
Oh, wow.
And when I met him, we went on a date, and I had a formula that I still share with my girls.
Okay.
Essentially, like, I would always meet at a spot of my choice, 2 drink max, and I would only meet for drinks because I realized, like, I was wasting my time going to dinner with people I didn't like.
Okay.
So I wouldn't commit to dinner because that's an hour or 2,
right,
depending on where you were.
I like that.
So yeah, I was like, I meet for drinks, and if we like each other, we can progress to dinner. And we just kept progressing. So we met for drinks.
Wow.
Then we met for dinner. Like, met for drinks, went to dinner. After dinner, went to a bar. After the bar, went to another bar.
Wow.
And after that bar, went to, like, we were literally out all night.
Right.
And we ended up back at my spot. And we sat, back to the original question, we sat in a park because I was afraid. I'm like, you ain't going to kill me. Everybody know your face, your name. I sent them your number. But we could sit outside.
Right.
And we sat in this park that overlooked the city. And we were just talking about our moms and just crying.
Yeah.
Like, we were sobbing because our moms are very similar. And it was just like, oh my God, like, I like him. And that was it. Like, we were so vulnerable that night. And I had never met a man that in tune with his emotions. So I think that was the thing. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
That's really big. Emotional EQ.
Never experienced it.
Emotional quotient.
Ooh.
Sis, that's a big deal. Like, once you've had that experience, you can never go back with us. Okay.
Yeah, just be in tune. It's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay. Not all the time, Joe.
Right.
But because I don't even cry all the time. Yeah.
Well, we just want to know that you feel
I'm capable.
It's not too much to ask.
Sometimes. But yeah, I think that was it.
That thing right there, bruh, that's a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tap into that for a second. So yeah, once you've had that, it's very difficult to go back, and it's unfortunate because a lot of our Black men in our culture, they have that experience. Like, they're taught to don't cry, don't show your emotions. There you go. And to get that, number one, security as for women is our number one need. And how do we feel secure? Through the amount of emotional support that you give us, because there's different levels of security.
Yeah.
You know, there's financial security, there's emotional security, there's physical security, but you begin that the first domino to all of those types of security is through that emotional security. So if you can make us feel secure emotionally,
it's literally like a force.
Yeah,
it's a force. And I think also experiencing love with him, it made me sad for the Black men that I knew, because I'm just like, you know, I don't think we realize as a group how we are contributing to the broken families that we complain about. Right, because the boys, the men, because, you know, boys to men, hey, but the boys to men, like, they need that nurturing so that they can, because they can't be emotionally available to us. Right. You know, so we have to go elsewhere sometimes or complain. Right. But it's like they're raised to not have any feelings. Wow. And that's unfair to them. Like, they deserve to feel, but it's like, man up, don't cry. You know, we get these men that have these, like, shields up and these walls up, and they don't mean to. It's just all they know. Right. That's so I pray for that for our community. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I pray that like all of the women who are in tune, going to therapy, are not like imparting this on their kids and like letting boys be boys, letting them feel, have feelings.
Right.
I think that'll heal our community a lot.
Yeah, and I think there needs to be a voice to that. I think we need to talk about it more.
I agree.
Yeah, I have boys. I'm raising boys into young men as well. And that's one of the things that has always been very important to me as a mommy. Like, how did that make you feel? Yeah, see? What was that experience like for you?
Allow them to talk and express themselves and feel safe, because that's what we want. Right. But like, how are we gonna feel safe if our men weren't raised to feel safe? You know. So I love that. I love that you are raising them to feel like, you know, your feelings are valid. Yeah. It's okay if you had a bad day. You know, talk to me. Right. I love that.
You know what's beautiful though, Tiarra? I'm gonna say this because not a lot of us actually possess this type of trait. The ability, not just accountability. That's a big one as well. That's actually number one. Yeah. But in this conversation, what I think is so beautiful that I see that you have is you provide for your man a safe space to be able to do that. Like there's a level of emotional maturity that us as women we gotta have in order to even invite that type of environment, because we beat our men up. I'm sorry. Oh, you weak. Oh, why are you crying? Oh, why are you still talking about that? What you mean I hurt you? I'm gonna be honest, transparent moment. Ooh. I need to sit. Transparent moment, girl. my last marriage. Okay, I told y'all this time I'm getting it right. I'm not messing it up no more. So my last marriage.
I don't think you messed anything up. It takes two.
It does take two. It does, but I am not here to talk about his problems. Ooh. I need to take responsibility for the part I played.
Say less. Go ahead. Say sorry.
So. But I'm going to just take responsibility for my mess. So one of the things that happened that really woke me up to this experience is my ex-husband and I was married for almost 11, going on 12 years. We were together combined for about almost 14 years. That's a very long time. I've been married most of my adult life, Tiarra. So this experience that I'm having now, dating and really getting to know myself and just knowing what I want as a woman, as a mommy, as a boss, and all those aspects of me, and how do I still, you know, surrender who I am to that of a man, and how do we submit to the purpose of the relationship, right? So here's what happened. We're driving in a car and he happened to get a ticket, and this seems a little bit petty, but
we don't have that petty moments.
But let me tell you, he noticed that I was completely emotionally disconnected. I had never been in love. I have had other relationships. I had actually been married before. I got married very, very early, right out of high school. But I was never in love with him. But my first husband knew that I wasn't in love. However, I went and we were dating, and I was just like, okay, as long as you don't mess up, you get to keep me, you know. And that was just it. There was no feelings. That's just what it was.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, very sad, right? And so he would have these experiences, and I would just shut down. I'm like, I would just be like, hope you're all right. You know, in my head, I would never, right, literally. And he confronted me one day. He literally confronted me, and he said to me, he was like, B, you know why you've never been in love? And I'm looking at him like, huh? He said, it's because you refuse to feel. I was like, shut up. Not literally, I didn't say that, but that woke me up.
He said you refuse
to feel. Yeah. I did not choose to feel, because I could have chosen.
You were protecting yourself.
Yeah, I was protecting myself, but I didn't know that I needed to do that. And I'm learning now in hindsight, over a decade later, that was a learned behavior from a relationship with my father. I mean, this can go so many different places. So I don't want to go there, but
no, there's always a catalyst. There's always a catalyst, and I think that's where the healing comes. Like, it's annoying and it's painstaking to have to go back, but like knowing where that point was, like, oh my God.
Yeah, this was the onset. This is what connected that for me, and that was huge. So, from that day on, I made a decision to feel. And as a result of me feeling in that relationship, I learned emotional maturity.
And how did you feel? Like, what, like, what changed? Like, what was the thing that you felt after, like, post-convo that wasn't there before? Like, just give me one example.
I paid attention.
Ooh.
I literally just paid. Like, when he had a bad day, I noticed.
Do you think you were just, like, floating?
Yeah. Literally floating, not feeling, not.
Oh, my God.
I
how many of
cared.
us are doing that right now.
Right. We're doing it because we're not attached to our feelings, which in turn causes our men. I'm not saying it's our fault by no stretch of the imagination, because men also have a responsibility.
Yeah.
However, but when our certain needs are not being met, there are 5 fundamental human needs, right, that have to be met, right? And emotional support is one of them. And when we as women or we as wives, we don't tap into that emotional support for our men, sis, guess what? They find a way to meet those emotional needs. And sometimes it's in that man cave. Sometimes it's in other
going out to the strip club,
unhealthy practices.
Nothing wrong with the strip club, because I like the strip club.
Hey,
but you know, like, I get what you period.
We're not doing that. What you doing later?
Listen.
Okay, so we gotta support our sisters.
But yeah, like, you don't want your man to seek that outside of
Right.
the home. But I also feel like a lot of women are in relationships where their emotional needs aren't being met either.
Correct.
You know, and I think that's back to, like, the emotional intelligence.
There you
Like,
go.
if the man lacks it,
Yeah.
well, clearly it sounds like your ex was very in tune with
Yes,
you.
he was, yeah.
But yeah, usually it's like the man lacks it and the woman shuts down.
Right.
And that's it.
And it shouldn't be like, we've got to get to the point to where we understand, we got to be educated that if we want to have a beautiful relationship. I'm not saying, and I know you're not saying that your relationship is perfect.
Yeah.
But you guys are able to thrive. You guys are able to
Stretch.
get through. You guys are able to get through hardship. You're able to get through and still find joy and love in your union, because you can have intelligent conversations about what you're feeling, how what I did made you feel. And you are still remaining a safe space. He's remaining a safe space for you. And I believe that's what it's about.
Yeah.
I went to my last marriage and I told my ex-husband, I was like, listen, I live in a yes world. So for me, if you come to me and you ask me for anything, baby, it's a yes.
Ooh.
As long as it's in
That's
support
sexy.
of where we're going. I mean, that's
like
just
that.
what it is.
Like
So if I'm giving yeses,
Yeah.
then of course I'm expecting that in return. Of course, you know. And some people may say that that's unhealthy, whatever. But those are my non-negotiables.
I mean,
That's it.
I think, like, for me, what helped me, because I definitely was someone that couldn't express themselves. Like, I grew up in a very Christian family.
Yeah.
Essentially, I didn't have an opinion. Like, you know, you didn't have an opinion.
Right.
You didn't have a feeling. I
Right.
better not have seen you roll your eyes. Like, you know, so, like, I didn't realize that I was a people pleaser. And I essentially, like, suppressed my feelings all the time. And with him, he kind of taught me how to express myself. And what I would do is I would turn all the lights off in the bedroom. We would lay on the bed, looking at the ceiling in the dark. And I felt like if I was angry, if I was happy or sad, like, he couldn't see my face.
Wow.
Because, again, we're from 2 different places. So
Yeah.
if I'm like, you know, and my face is like, it's not like I'm mad at you. I'm just like, I'm being expressive. But for him, he wouldn't understand it. So if I'm in the dark and I'm crying or I'm upset or I'm snickering or something, whatever my facial expression is saying, he can't see it. He can just hear my heart, like, hear what I'm saying. So, like, we used to talk in the dark in the beginning of our relationship. We would just talk in the dark, and it would help us say the things that we couldn't say, like, looking at each other. Because, you know, there's certain things some people can. But, like, for me, I can't hurt someone that I care about their feelings. Wow. Sometimes my thoughts and feelings can hurt you.
Yeah.
You know? So it was like, how can I tell him this? And it was like, all right, I can talk to you in the dark because I can't see the pain in your eyes.
Ooh.
You know, you can't see the pain in mine. And so now we're good. Like, we can talk. But in the beginning, that's how we really, like, dug in.
Wow. Okay.
So I don't know if that'll help you.
Replay this, and I'm going to take notes.
It helped me a lot.
Talking in the dark.
It helps. I say so much more in the dark.
I love that. Wow. What a way to fight for your relationship.
Ooh,
I love it. Yeah. So I do have to ask you a question that everyone wants to know, girl.
Oh, child.
Yes, honey. Okay, with there being such imbalance in the Black community in terms of relationships, one man to every 20 eligible. One man to every 20 eligible, women. Was that a deciding factor for you in terms of venturing out into other cultures, other races, just began dating, or was it just something that happened organically?
Well, I'm from the Bronx, New York.
Okay.
Stop. No, but New York is a melting pot, naturally. So like I grew up with people from, all over. So it wasn't uncommon to see people mixing and mingling.
Okay.
I dated like this Polish guy when I was in high school when I worked at Skechers on Times Square. His name, child, poor Matt. But he was Polish, and I was the first, like, I guess, white person I ever dated. But like I never saw him as like a white person.
Yeah.
Or Hispanic. Like I've dated like other people, but it was never a thing because New Yorkers have like their own ethnicity or race.
Right,
I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like a kindred thing with New Yorkers. So yes, I feel like there's way more women to men, especially the type of men that we all want.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie and say that the type of man or black man that I would have wanted was available. I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I think men have the corner on that market.
Right.
They get to choose, and most men, when I was dating, didn't want an entrepreneur, a woman that was making her own money. I was traveling on my own. Like I was really young and doing my own thing, and not easy to like control, I guess.
Right. Okay.
So I don't think I was the top of the list for a lot of the men that I wanted. They were like they had the Adonis complex, I felt, and were just like out and about. And I was like, I'm just gonna be open because I know that connection is connection, and I've always felt that way. But yeah, I wouldn't say that statistic is what made me venture out, but more so just like I don't believe that love has a face, and I just was the United Nations. I was dating everybody. I was dating everybody. I mean, I was going on dates five nights a week.
Wow.
So one night it was an Indian guy, an Australian guy. I never dated an Asian man. I don't know, that never happened. But yeah, I mean, in dating, I mean, going out to dinner, and I got to know a lot about different people, and but yeah, I just think that women need to, especially black women, because we are just so epic.
Yeah.
I think we do need to expand our horizons because we all want the same man, and it's just it's not realistic for us all to get him, and I think that is something people don't want to hear, another unpopular opinion.
Right.
But I just don't want to subscribe to any delusion, and I feel like I'll just be waiting forever.
Wow.
I'm not saying you're Manny and I'll pay.
Right.
But I don't want women to get hung up on a look, certain height. Everyone wants a 6-figure man. And it's like, babe, how you gonna have a 6-figure man and you a 6-figure woman? When y'all gonna see each other? Like, it's gonna be hard.
Correct.
So maybe you need, a blue collar man to be home so you can have a kid and you could go be the boss that you are. Like, there's so many ways that you could complete the puzzle, but I think we all have been sold this like dream that is not attainable, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. Well, we've all seen your husband.
Hey, Free.
Can we say
Hey, bestie.
Thank you. I mean, honestly.
Thank you. He's a sweetie.
He's handsome.
Thank you. God is
He's
good.
a handsome man.
God is good. He thick too. I like him thick.
Girl.
I like
if I had to venture over.
Listen, I feel like there's somebody for everyone.
Right.
And I think I've always kind of like, let me put it this way. I'm not the girl that has a type.
Okay.
So if the spirit is hitting, I feel like I can find beauty.
Yeah.
You can't live like, you live under the dumpster, of course.
Right.
But I do feel like, if the spirit is connecting, like for the most part, I feel like I've kissed some frogs, child.
We all have.
But I feel like the spiritual connection was there. So I mean,
because most of us, we kind of look at you, and when we see you guys' beautiful like pictures on the internet, it just really looks like you have won.
Thank you. I'm very grateful.
That. So, and you look happy every time I see you. You look well supported.
He's definitely extremely supportive. That poor man. I'm driving crazy. Every week it's a new business, it's a new activity. But he's definitely a rarity, and I'm really grateful for him. Really grateful for our friendship to start.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so I have to ask a tough question.
Ooh.
Yeah, girl.
It's hot in here.
Cut. No, just kidding. Okay, so what is it like when you guys go out? I'm sure you go out and you get stares, you get questions, you get. Are you guys over that part of your relationship because you've been together so long now? I mean, you dated for 4 years and now you're going to your third year of marriage. I mean, that's a lot of time to be together. Does it still bother you if it ever have, or
That is tough.
what is that like?
Whew, wow, that's a question. I think when we first started dating in New York, again, this is anecdotal, but I feel like I'm not the type of black woman that most black women or men expect to date out. Like, I got a fatty, I'm very glam, I'm gonna have different hair every week. I'm not gonna be like, like I'm a black woman,
Thank you,
blackety black,
yes.
So I think people are always shocked because it's just like Tiarra, like Tiarra,
right?
Not my intimate people, because I mean, my family always said I would marry a white guy, and I was like, I don't understand why you would say that. But I was the white girl of the batch.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell that means. I think it's so toxic. But growing up in the Bronx, I was a little different, from everyone else. So it was like, she ain't gonna fit in here. She gonna go out. She gonna get somebody. They made a best of that for me. Yeah. But we got a lot of energy in the beginning. Like, I'll never forget, but I'm also from New York. He's from Connecticut.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go certain places. I wouldn't go to Harlem and take a stroll with him, because I know my people, and I know my men. So they're gonna, I know it's certain things I'm going to avoid.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget one time we were walking, like, in Central Park, and there was a group of guys, and they were like, he can't handle that. Like, but outwardly disrespectful towards him. That's happened several times, like, especially in the beginning. But I think we've kind of drowned that out. I think moving to Atlanta, it started again.
Oh.
Yeah, in New York, we kind of it was over. Like, it was the first few months or so, it was like, oh God, little stares. Or, I think people were just curious, honestly.
Right.
Like, how in the hell?
Right.
Because I think we both are like anomalies. It's just like, she got a big, thick white dude. He got a thick black girl. Like, we just are both like, the extremes of both sides. But now I think in Atlanta it subsided. When we first got here, it was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I tell all my girls, like, I'm like, I feel the most black I've ever felt living here. And I'm really grateful for that. I don't think New York gave me that opportunity. I grew up in the Bronx, very Hispanic. But living here, I feel so black. So I'm so aware of things that, like, I wasn't aware of before.
Yeah.
So I think it's more internal pressure too here, because I haven't seen black love. Like, I hadn't seen black married people, like Skittles, and I haven't seen this ever. I've never seen black power couples, and I would be lying if I said, like, wow, that's like, I didn't know it existed. Like, I thought it was just a fairy tale.
Wow.
But I see it now, and I think that is more of the internal thing. But as far as, like, outside pressure, I think it subsided a little bit. But it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, navigating what events to go to together. What do I think he'll like? Or will he be okay here? Or, and he's a chameleon. But, yeah, I mean, he's in a black city, too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's been interesting.
So, on the flip side, what has the experience been like for him? Like, do you, okay, so it's obvious that black men will respond in that way because they almost feel like, oh, here's this, handsome white guy. I mean, you can't deny the guy is a stud. Okay, here's this handsome white guy that got this gorgeous, fat woman with a fatty. You know what I mean? So, you have that experience, but what about him? Do you get the stares from white women? Do they look at you like, how dare she still this tall, handsome?
I don't think I've experienced that.
Really?
I cannot
So
say.
it's your relationship is more accepting in the white community.
I don't think, I mean, I feel like I deal with microaggressions every day.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's because of, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like I get treated better when I'm with him.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like, I guess I get to dabble in the white experience, but, like, when we go out to dinner, like, if I return a steak that I'm paying for, it's like, oh, what was wrong with it?
Wait. So you get the privilege?
I get the privilege. Yeah, when we go out, he'll be like, return that. But I was so used to, like, if I didn't like something, I'd be like, it's alright.
Right.
See,
That's
that
our
black girl.
experience.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this shit is nasty. Can I curse? Oh my God, I just curse. Okay. But yeah, like I'd be like, oh my God, this is disgusting. And it's like I'm gonna just pay for it. I don't want nobody to think I'm one of those.
Right.
But when I'm with him, he's the one that actually encouraged me to send my food back. And now I'm a tyrant. Okay. Now I'm a tyrant. You get to I'd be like, yes, I'd be like, this is not how it was before. Okay. But before I'd be like, yeah, no problem. Yeah, so
that's us. That's what we go through. Look at that dynamic.
People have no idea. People have no idea. And now I'm like, oh my God.
The benefits. Can we talk about the benefits?
Yeah, I mean.
What are some of the other benefits?
Oh my God, let me think. I mean, there is privilege there. You know, I'm not going to deny that America is not built to,
cater to.
Yeah. But I definitely feel like I get to, be on the back end. Like,
yeah.
You know, when we go into like a car dealership, or if we go, like it's just a different energy and a different vibe. And I think we both kind of reap benefits, because it's just like he gets more respect. It's like, oh, hey, okay, and for me it's just like, oh, she's okay. So I mean, I would definitely say there are a lot of benefits.
Wow.
Yeah, and I get to see life from his lens.
Wow.
And it's just something as simple as sending your food back. A privilege that a lot of black women, you'll be ghetto. She just came in here to send plates back.
Right.
We can't take the drink back.
Extra.
Yeah. It's like, no, baby, it's
troublemaker. Right.
It's the food is trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would never have done that. And now I do. With no problem. I'm crying. Okay. Send your plate back, sis. Send it back.
Right. You deserve that.
Period.
We deserve that.
Period. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Privileges.
Okay.
Benefits. A man with benefits.
Oh,
I mean, we all want that.
Uh-huh.
We want a man with benefits. I mean, come on, we're women. We want to be treated a certain way. I mean, we deserve to be treated a certain way. And I think that a man that can provide benefits, regardless of how or why he provides those benefits, is always a level up for us. So
Definitely.
yeah.
And I think safety would be another thing. And when I say safety, I mean, the man's never been in a fight in his life. But I feel like he doesn't put me in positions to even be in establishments that something like that would happen.
Okay.
Like, he's just very mindful. I would say, just financial safety.
Mm-hmm.
He helps me a lot with my businesses. He's a freaking genius.
Wow.
If he doesn't know something, he'll find out.
He got a cousin.
He don't got a cousin. He don't got a cousin.
A twin.
He don't.
No.
He don't. His mama did a good job.
Girl.
But yeah, I think when we first met, I told him, I was like, I just want to be a damsel. Like, I'm tired of being superwoman.
Right.
I just want to be a damsel. And so I have to literally tell him, like, please, I can pour my own water. Like, he spoils me so much.
Oh my God.
He brings me water every morning before I wake up. Like, he's very much like, and it's just something I've never experienced.
Wow.
Like, ever. Ever. But I have to tell him, like, please, I can pour my own water.
Just a man, I
can pour my own water. I'm not an invalid. And he's like, it's okay. I'll do it for you. Like, I got you.
Oh my God. I love that. I love that experience for you. And for me, it's so important that we all get. That's why I'm not gonna settle.
Yeah.
I promise you, I will not settle. I feel like I deserve to have a similar experience. I want an experience that brings me joy. I'm a giver. I'm a server. I'm a doer.
So is that your love language?
Which way?
Like acts of service?
Acts of service. I love receiving gifts. Yes, those are my things. I want to be treated special. Okay. I do. I want to feel special. It's important for me that you are doing those things for me and that you enjoy doing them.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think acts of service, I feel most people that do it should receive too. But without asking.
Yes, exactly. So, okay. Conflict. How do you guys handle conflict?
Ooh.
Now, let me preface this for a second, because in our community, typically, either we shut down, or if we talk, sometimes, unfortunately, if we're not educated on proper communication, we handle it in an unhealthy way. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you. Or he leaves without communicating.
Yeah.
And you later come back together simply because you had time to cool off. But you never really address the issue. So, in your relationship, how do you guys handle conflict? And is it different than what's typically done in our community?
You can ask it.
Okay.
Ask that
And then I have
last
one
question.
more.
And okay.
Okay. After this, I have one more question.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've never really been argumentative, like
Okay.
ever. I've
Okay.
never. I think I probably have one relationship like that,
Okay.
and it was bad. I think we just were hotheads and we would say things to hurt each other.
Yeah.
But I would literally just be like defending myself, and I realized like I don't want this because I don't even like to argue because I am a serious hothead. So for me, I'd rather take time and come back because I never want to say anything out of anger because I'm that girl.
Yeah.
And I know that about myself, so I don't
Right,
even allow myself to get in those spaces with people I care about, and even strangers because of chat.
Right.
You know, it's just like I got too much to lose. I don't want to hurt anybody. Like I know my temper, I know my mouth, and it's lethal.
Yeah.
So I don't even play those games. I'm the 0 to 100.
Gotcha.
So I don't argue in relationships. Like it may be tense. Like we are very much like not gonna go to bed mad. But I think it's just because we are big energy people. Like the both of us like don't like that energy, like that tenseness.
Yeah.
That's not even a word. The tense
But I get
energy
what
in
you're
the
saying.
in the house. So if I notice, like, you know, we may take time apart, like if something happened, but like if I notice that, like, you know, we haven't spoke in a few hours, we're in 2 different rooms, I'm just be like, you hungry? You want something to eat? And then we'll talk.
Right.
But like, I will say this is my most mature relationship. We don't fight, and I think if anything, it'll be more of a disagreement.
Yeah.
I love to spend money, so most of it is my husband telling me you're spending too much money, you're frustrating me. Here's an Excel spreadsheet. Why? You know, but for the most part, we have a friendship, and I think that's the thing that people forget. Like, think about like the way you treat your girlfriends. Like he's my guy friend, so it's like I'm gonna talk to you and be as gentle with you as I will my friend. You know, and it's just like, hey, like this is really making me unhappy. Like I don't know what it is. I can't really explain it, but you do it often, and it makes me unhappy. Like, and I'm gonna shut down if it happens again. And he'll be like, you know, I'll work on it, or vice versa. He'll tell me something. Like when I first got here, I was outside, girl. I was outside, and he doesn't have any friends here. So for me, I'm again a bird. Like I told you, I can't be like up under him all the time.
Yeah.
I have to spread I need to feel like I have a community, so like I can be inspired too. And I was really just putting roots down. Like, this is a new city for me. I have to go out. I have to support the girls and get to meet them. Yeah. I can't sit in the house. You know, men connect differently. So he didn't like that. He was like, I'm home alone. Like, I don't know anybody here. And I'm like, do you want me to be miserable too? Wow. Because like, if I stay home with you, you're not going to like me.
Wow.
So we both need to be proactive. Like, you need to build a community. And because we're not, we are one, but we aren't. Yeah. You know, and I value what you value, and we love, you know, being individuals.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was like, I think the biggest thing with moving that we learned about each other. Like, we had become codependent. So now we're just practicing going out, practicing being mindful. Like, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm going to be home late. I don't know what time. Instead of just like going out and not coming back. Yeah. But he's expressed that to me, and I think like he could have just kept it under wraps, and then, you know, 6 months later it could have been a blow up fight. But we kind of like address things right away.
I love it.
If we can, you know, even if it's a few days later, it's right away.
I love it. Oh my God. One of my favorite quotes is in relationship is, whatever you do not deal with will eventually deal with you.
Ooh.
So I like
I wrote that down. Wait, whatever you don't deal with will deal with you.
Will eventually deal with you. Yeah. So those unresolved issues, those unhad conversations, they will surface. And you know,
I love your voice.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
If I could sing, y'all, I'll be sick of me. So just be glad. Just be glad I can only
Speaking
talk.
of singing, I do have a single coming out called Concealer.
Oh, are you for real?
I'm serious.
What?
It actually, it goes, I don't know when the podcast goes live, but it goes live this week. Yes.
You've got to share it with us.
I will.
Send me
It's
the
about
info.
love, and
Oh,
I think you'll love it because I think it
perfect.
speaks to like what you like want your girls to feel.
Yeah.
It's essentially about just someone seeing right through your concealer, and you don't need it anymore because you're not crying because you being loved properly. So that's what the song's about. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
God. Before we go, please tell us everything. Like, what do you want the audience to know about you? What is it that you have going on, and what can we share? What can you share with the audience?
Well, I think I'm at like a phase where I'm finding myself. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be 33. This is my Jesus year,
Hey.
and I'm just in a space where I want to do everything that serves me.
Yeah.
And music was always something that I loved, but I suffered from imposter syndrome. But she's past that. She's pushing past it. Put it that way.
Okay.
Pushing through the pain. But yeah, music is how my career kind of started.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about that. I don't know the podcast yet. But yeah, music is kind of how it started, and then I segued into hair and makeup and being an influencer. So I'm just going back to my roots right now, and just really just trying to tap into like my creative energy, because I think that's what women need to be feminine, to be truly feminine, is to do something that inspires them, and that's what music is for me. So that is where we are. Serial entrepreneur, but the girls know that. And yeah, I'm just really trying to tap into me.
That part of you. And Concealer will be released when? Can
This
we download
Friday.
it? This Friday. Yay. So by the time you guys see this, if you haven't already downloaded Concealer, please go to, where can they purchase?
So it's gonna be exclusive to YouTube, just because those are the people that poured into me. So it's full circle moment. But I'll give you the clip. Maybe you can put it at the end.
Yes.
It works so well. I think but on my YouTube channel, Tiarra Monet.
I love it. Again, this is Tiarra Monet. Tiarra, I love you. I love you. I love you. You are the absolute bestest. Before we go, look into the camera and tell everybody. I know it was so good. It just flew by. Tell everyone what was on that list for you. What were your affirmations before you found your man or your man found you?
I know you're the manifestation queen.
Yes.
I like to say that I am too. I think surprisingly my list was very short.
Okay.
And I don't think I was specific. And I think that's probably what helped me.
Okay.
Literally all I asked God for was a man with a W-2. I didn't want an artist. I didn't want a producer. I just wanted a man that, because I was technically like, you know, an entrepreneur.
Right.
I didn't have the benefits. I wanted the opposite of me.
Yeah.
I didn't care what he did. I just needed a W-2.
Right. Okay.
And some benefits. Okay. And it was a W-2, and then I think no children. No children, yeah. W-2, no children, and I just wanted him to be taller than me.
Hey.
But yeah, I didn't have a long list.
Look at that. You like everything else we can just work out. Okay.
Yeah.
You just have a consistent check with health care, insurance. So 401k. Can I get the 401k?
Because I knew who I wanted to be, and it's like I need a man that can like support me.
That. Yeah.
And you know, I had tried to date the guys, you know, here, and you know, I was number 17, you know, and I didn't want that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think again, women, open your options.
Yeah.
But yeah, think about like where you want your future to be, and like sometimes when I met him, he was a pharmacist, and now he's kind of segued into like VC and like investing and stuff like that. Okay. But yeah, like I was like, oh, this is great, we'll be fine.
Right.
And you know, at the time, I probably was making like so much cash, but he makes more money than me now. So,
right. Wow.
You know, but I didn't care. It wasn't. I was like, he got a good job, got good credit.
Yeah.
He got that W-2.
Hallelujah.
But yeah, my list wasn't long.
Look at that. I love it. And she's happy. She's happy. Well, thank you again, sis. This has been magical.
No, you are amazing. I'm really excited for the podcast. And thanks to Bel Air.
Hey.
It was yummy.
Yes.
I'm so excited to listen to more of your episodes.
And again, I cannot wait to download this Friday, Concealer. Yay. And we'll be playing it right now. So much. Because the music's playing. Thank you guys again, and please join us on the next episode.